Good evening. My name is Justin Adams. I'm the director of bands at Monache High School. I am coming to the end of my 24th year, and we would love to welcome you to our 56th annual spring concert. Before we begin tonight's performance, I'd like to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to several individuals whose support has made this year such a success. Mr. Kevin Standifer, Jody Bourne, and the auditorium staff for preparing this wonderful facility for tonight's concert. Dr. Nate Nelson, Superintendent of Portland Unified School District, along with the PUSD Governing Board. Mrs. Chandra Walker, Principal at Monache High School. Mrs. Aziz, Mr. Dodson, and Mr. Kaiser, Assistant Principals at Monache High School. Mr. Richard Madrigal, the Assistant Director of Bands at Monache High School. Mr. Hugo Baez, Mrs. Radian Reese, and Mrs. Laura Velarde, color guard and major ed instructors, respectively. Mrs. Savannah Madrigal and Mr. Jonathan Torres, percussion instructors at Monache High School. Mrs. Alejandra Hernandez, Ms. Monica Rodriguez, and Mrs. Stacy Fleischman, our current MBTA board, and the rest of the Monache Band Parent Association. Mrs. Jeannie Adams, Brianna, Sam, and Megan for your sacrifices these past 24 years. My colleagues through PUSD and our neighboring districts for your support of music education. Thank you all for your unwavering support and dedication to our students and programs.
Buenas noches y bienvenidos. Mi nombre es Evelyn Ramos, soy estudiante y conductora musical de la banda Monache. Es un placer darles la bienvenida al 56 concierto anual de primavera. Antes de comenzar con la presentación de esta noche, me gustaría tomar un momento para expresar mi sincero agradecimiento a varias personas que han hecho este año un verdadero éxito. Al señor Standifer, el personal del auditorio, por este maravilloso establecimiento para el concierto de esta noche. Al doctor Nelson, superintendente del Distrito Escolar Unificado de Puerto, junto con la Junta Directiva de PUSD. La señora Walker, directora de Monache High School. La señora Aziz, señor Dodson y señor Kaiser, subdirectores de Monache High School. La señora Madrigal, subdirector de bandas de Monache High School. Señor Valdez y señora Luis y señora Velarde, instructores de color guard y major ed. La señora Madrigal y el señor Torres, instructores de Percussion de Monache High School. Las señoras Hernández, Rodríguez, Fleischman, junto con la Asociación de Padres de Banda de Monache. La señora Adams, a Brianna, Sam y Megan por su sacrificio durante los últimos 24 años. A los colegas del señor Adams a través de PUSD, los distintos vecinos por su apoyo a la educación musical. Y a todos ustedes, muchas gracias por su apoyo incondicional y por su dedicación a nuestros estudiantes y a nuestro programa musical.
many of you were here for the 2022 spring concert? And we started with our stage band, either first half, second half, or in the middle. I forget where I remember of them. And there was 2 altos, a tenor. No, sorry, one of the altos was not there. There was 1 alto, 1 tenor, 1 bari, 1 trombone, and 3 trumpets, and the kit. That was right after COVID, and those kids met 7:30 every day for that whole year, and a little patch of dirt behind the band. 2 of those I would like to just recognize because they're still here with us tonight. Brody and Olivia. That's my friend. We're going to slow down our second number here. It's called Time Will Tell. We will feature our trumpet section on this and our solo trumpet. This is Time Will Tell. Our next tune is called Sugar Train, and it is by Mike Dana. Mike Dana is I think he still lives in California, but he was a former jazz educator at Fresno City College and a guitar player. And a few weeks ago, he was one of the adjudicators at our CMEA festival. And Mr. Adams said, hey, let's have a guitar solo. I didn't know he played guitar. So I'll probably look into backgrounds more closely next time before we do that. But I think you're gonna enjoy it because Quentin, who will be playing that for you at the end, along with Olivia, was named Outstanding Soloist for that portion of the festival. So we hope you do enjoy this. This is Sugar Train. another funny festival story that goes with the next two songs. And I will tell you with this one. So last year for our ballad or our slow piece, we were told we played that too slow. And I'm looking at the tempo marking, and we've done metronome to that pretty much all year last year. Okay, no problem. Personal taste. So I made sure to hit metronome marking this year, and I added 4 clicks. That's usually what's detectable by ear. And you told me, you play that too fast. Let's go back to 4 clicks. Okay. So that's going to lead us to our last one, which you'll understand the problem there. Finish with our last tune here with these guys, and it's called Sticks. It was written by Julian Adderley, and we've got several solos throughout in there. So I have taught these kids, we're going to learn this from this tempo, then we add a time, we add a time, we add a time. I felt we're comfortable, and the judge goes, maybe you should try it this tempo. I'm like, please don't play that. I know it's coming. And he played it. And I'll never get it back down to the tempo it was before. So I hope you enjoy this. as we come to the end of the first half, we have a special video for you that took place on March 30th. So once the stage band is clear, I'm going to go ahead and ask the guys in the booth to play that, and I hope you enjoy this performance. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it when it's over. Would the indoor percussion students please join me on stage real quick? The students coming onto the stage are the students you saw perform in the video. You guys are aware, they were the Scholastic A champions, which means they're grouped with schools of similar ability and size, let's say. But then they were also the South Valley Winter Arts Association champions because they posted the highest score of all marching units for the day. So they will spend the year as the 2025 champions. They will be getting delivered a perpetual trophy anytime in the next few weeks from South Valley Winter Arts. Please give them a round. We are going to take a quick intermission. If you need to use the stage, band, let's get up on stage and reset. And so we...
Actually, no, I'm going to...
The first three songs from the second half come from our CMA Festival performance from early March, and the band earned a unanimous superior on stage from the judges. And then when we went to sight reading, we also earned a superior rating, which was a great success for these kids. And to show how far we've come back from COVID, we had been knocking on the door of that rating for a few years, and it finally clicked. So we hope you enjoy these first three tunes. The first one is by John Philip Sousa. It is absolutely one of my favorite marches. It is called The Loyal Legion. Our next tune for you is very timeless, and it is also very universal. And what I mean by universal is bands from the United States and around the world, whether you are beginning, middle school, high school, collegiate, graduate, they all will play this tune. It is one of the beautiful pieces by Frank Erickson. It is called Air for Band. Our last PMA piece is a fun tune. It's called Among the Clouds. It's by Brian Malvages. It has just this ethereal type feeling, and it just gives a sense of flight. I want you to listen to something very carefully in the middle, and it is a fugue, and the clarinets will start the fugue. Then a few bars later, the flutes will take over the fugue. A few bars later, the altos will take over the fugue, and then we get this big 4-8 bars of just everybody going at different times and different rhythms. It is fun, so I hope you enjoy that. This is called Among the Clouds. places with our assistant director now, Mr. Madrigal. Mr. Madrigal, please come on up behind wherever you may be at the moment. We have a big laugh usually most days between the two of us. But the big common joke right now is it's bad shoulder season. So I'm going to give my shoulders a rig here. I don't know, maybe he said, Adams, forget you. You get to do the whole night. We're going to turn a little bit more to the fun part of our set now. Our first tune is an arrangement by John Picabas, and it is called the Symphonic Beatles. I had ordered this in, my gosh, I think the kid that asked me to order this graduated in '06, and we just never played it. So my goal for the past few years has been something I've ordered, we never played, we got to get it done. So that is this tune as well. And should be a lot of fun. You'll recognize all the tunes. When we get to the end, Hey Jude, if you want to stand and sing, go right for it. You'll be able to sing the lyrics, no problem. All right. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Richard Matter. Oh, okay. John Williams has always been an important part of our program. This next tune, I was probably thinking, yeah, but it's come together pretty well. So we hope you enjoy it. It is the theme from E.T. You'll know right when the moon scene takes place. And it's just a gorgeous piece. This is the concert version. Back when I was in high school, we played a marching version that was also fun and amazing. So we're going to perform this, and then we'll get to some other festivities here soon. Coming out right now is going to be our All-State student. This year we had a student that tried out for California California Band Directors Association All-State Honor Band. This student was selected over 7,000 applicants. And not only was he selected, but there are 4 bands that perform at the California Band Directors Association convention, and he made the top band. So 7 percussionists make that group, and he was one of the 7. He is going to come play you one of his solos that he is currently using for auditions for college. Please welcome D'Angelo Medina. While they're finishing setting up, 1 year ago, D'Angelo won the solo ensemble competition at South Valley, so he performed all 10. Standing before you is a $20,000 marimba. And he says to us, can I play on the $3,000 one? I like it better. We knew at that moment that all of the percussion that had been bought for us, for the district to use, was going away and being returned to get the money back. This year, he's going for the big one. All right, D'Angelo. quick thank you to his coach and teacher, Savannah Madison. We have one more solo here for you from Maricela Gonzalez and D'Angelo. They are the two-time defending concert percussion ensemble champions for the South Valley Winter Arts Association. The big difference was this year they had to do it live. Last year we're still submitting recordings, and so we traveled up to Madeira, to a new school up there, was where the competition was held. And on the first, they picked up their banner. So now they each have a banner they can keep. I think they had to share the banner for half the year before. So. I've been involved with this activity since I was 14, and I'm always amazed and can sit and watch those four mouths in two hands and get amazed by every single time I watch it. Give those two a round of applause. Thank you. Ladies, you can relax and find the nearest seat to you. All right, before we clear the stage and finish this evening, we have some hardware to give away and some awards. Please welcome to the stage Monache Principal, Mrs. Chandra Walker, to help me present this. We are going to start with our Senior Color Guard Service Awards. Service awards are presented to our outstanding seniors who have made it through the program. It can be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, we do not matter, but the fact that they were able to do that and make it all the way, we recognize them for their time. Ariana Alvarez. Amy Tenna. Okay. I'm trying to give the microphone away. It's just not good if I keep it. Because I'm at the point now, I'm going to start telling stories, and we're going to be here till 10. And Clarissa Vasquez, please. I'm not going to give that to her. Asia Lucera. Arletta Maciel Jimenez. Jasmine Rocha. Alina Hernandez. Giselle Leon. Adriana Cisneros. Caitlin Schmidt. We're now going to present our senior band members the same. And Gabby Chaka. Libby Sanders. Chastity Ascension. Nicole LaRouche. Amelia Covarrubias. Brody Farrell. Anastasia Gonzalez. Juan Gonzalez. Andy Peña Tapia. Alyssa Romero. By the way, Alyssa has an amazing project she worked on, and she was granted the Civic Engagement State Seal of California last night. Kirsten Vasquez Taylor. Jacob Vasquez. Alexandra Sandoval. Cassandra Sanchez. Karen Alvarez. I know. Aiden Burns. Molly Woodruff. Jamie Fleischman. Evelyn Ramos Maciel. Nicholas Garcia. Emily Fox. Alexandra Quintero Beltran. D'Angelo Medina Montenegro. Nathan Guerrero. And Marcela Gonzalez. So I have to check every year. I go through my list 4 times, make sure I've got one for all my seniors, make sure we've got them recognized. Because there was a director once who went through all his seniors and recognized them, and there was still a senior sitting there. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but I learned from that person's mistake. Please give a hand. There is a get back to your seats, and we'll get that set up and go. The next set of awards are some of our leaders that have done well for this following year. I am going to read the names, and please come up. I'm going to read them continuously so we can do that, and we'll give one round of applause at the end, okay? Certificate of Leadership for Jasmine Rocha, Christina Saldivar, Evelyn Ramos Maciel, Federico Valdez, Molly Withrow, Jacob Vasquez, Brody Ferris, Karen Alvarez Viacana, Alyssa Romero, Cassandra Sanchez, Alexander Quintero Beltran, the two before, I have to just put a little previous statement for the next two coming up. I heard the comment earlier this year. That's the best clarinet, high school clarinet section I've ever heard. I go, I'm not a clarinet player. So it's got to be because they have some really mean seniors who just beat them into submission to play with. And if you saw the four kids that are their kind of leaders, that's the exact opposite of them. Emily Fott and Chastity Assumption. Gabby Menchaca and Maricela Gonzalez. Give these kids one more round of applause. Our next recipients are for the Dale Anderson Award. Mr. Anderson was Monache High School's first band director. Those of us who went to Monache had considered that because when he came, the band began to have its own identity. And in 1969 is when he became director, 1932, I'm going backwards. 2001 is when he retired. And I fortunately was chosen to follow him, and I've been here ever since. When we named this award after him, we wanted it to be for musicianship. If you were with Mr. Anderson, you always knew music came first. These students have been selected to honor bands, have won awards, solo awards, or have just demonstrated some incredible musicianship in class. Brock Christensen, Annabella San Miguel, D'Angelo Medina Montanez, Libby Sanders, Maricela Gonzalez, and Nicholas Garcia. Our next award was named after Monache High School's first principal, Mr. E.R. Berryhill. I would love to be able to tell you more about Mr. Berryhill. I can tell you he hired Mr. Anderson, and that was probably an amazing decision because he affected so many of us in the room. This was unusual in the sense that I had probably the largest margin of separation from who was the winner to the other students who were voted on. This is voted on by the students with my final approval. And it was presented this year to D'Angelo Medina Montanez. give all of our hip kids on stage a wonderful hand. I'm going to finish with just some sets of achievement kids who did some pretty amazing things. The first one is if you play oboe, it's pretty amazing. Anastasia Gonzalez. If you know the background of this young man, you know the achievement that was created here. Andy Kane, Tapia. The next two are a couple of my minions in the drum line who have taken care of those kids regularly this year. Nathan Guerrero and Aiden Burr. And Amelia Cooper-Rubius, who is a French horn player, but she also does music for me and Portable College. Has done amazing. And this young lady, I have no doubt, would have received the top award from her school. I was lucky to get her for 1 year. Please, Alexander Sandoval. Now, I have two others up there who's the printer literally ate. If it was the dog giving your homework, that's what happened. Mrs. FAF and I spent an hour trying to get this thing to print, and it just couldn't. So please also will you welcome certificate of achievements to Nicole LaRouche and Juan Gilman. Those will be presented to you. Those will be presented to you on Monday. Or Tuesday. I won't be there Monday. Juan stand and Nicole stand right here. I gotta tell you a story about Juan. Juan came to me, were you a 10th grader? 10th grader? He said, I don't want to do drums, I want to do something new. So he learned sax in a year. This year he did jazz band with us and then followed it up with indoor percussion. And Nicole has been a steady force in our flute section for the past several years. Please give a wonderful hand call.
I thought it was funny. Alyssa! Oh, she hates me. My Shayla. Aww, I'm gonna cry for them. Yeah, that's what. I know what I'm talking about. Oh, heck yeah. awkward. If you make it awkward, Mr. Adams.
One of the things we do as kids get ready is present to perform. Oftentimes we will tell dad jokes. I won't do that with you now because someone's ready to take over for me. If Chris Peralta is in the room, will you please come backstage along with Monica Rodriguez? You are being requested, both of you.
Okay, good evening everyone. My name is Jasmine Rocha and I am a senior, four-year color guard member and this year's captain. I was forced to keep this short, which is going to be really hard for me, but here we go. I wanted to come up here and recognize Iridian, Hugo, and Chris. Iridian and Hugo have been such great coaches and mentors since the time I have been here and more. I couldn't imagine my high school years without coaches like them. Hugo plays the biggest part in this program as he has to deal with us, the most dramatic and sassiest girls you'll ever meet. As for Iridian, she deals with the same amount of sass, but behind the screen. The other girls and I are beyond grateful for all the happy, sad, good, and bad memories that we have shared. Color Guard has taught the girls and I so many important things, such as staying on our toes, keeping our cores tight, but most importantly, we were taught how to grow strong connections. We were all fortunate enough to grow connections with each other and with you both. We hope you get to create many, many more connections and memories with the underclassmen we are sadly leaving. We have grown so much as a team and as individuals, all thanks to you. As for Chris, I hope someone is recording. Well, you're here now, so we don't need that. Not many of you know, but Chris is one of our night shift janitors and has helped band and color guard for so many years, and for that we are so grateful. The guard girls and I will always keep you in the back of our minds as you were there for every late night practice. Mostly because you worked night shift, but who cares? Because your comments and silly jokes always kept us going through those practices. Our favorite memories with you, Chris, were seeing you at the parades, the times you threw us a secret party, but most of all, those countless Pepsi Cokes that you make. Your bright and wispy energy is genuinely a blessing to us all. We hope you continue to bless the Monache Band and Color Guard with your presence, because we couldn't have done it without you either. Once again, thank you Hugo Boss, Iridian, and Chris. You are all so amazing and play important roles in this program. I also want to quickly mention two amazing women, which are Mrs. Adams and Monica. You both play a crucial role in helping this program run smoothly. We wouldn't be here without you. So, the Color Guard girls and I, seniors and all, have gathered a few gifts for you to show you how much we appreciate you. Thank you.
I love you guys, you're great!
Hello everyone, I'm Maricela and I will be recognizing Mrs. Madrigal. I am the front ensemble captain for this year's indoor percussion and field trip. And I want to give a big thanks to our amazing directors and a special thanks to our percussion instructor, Mrs. Madrigal. She has been a phenomenal contribution with our front ensemble and helping the band achieve the magical sounds from all of our keyboard players. My freshman year of band, it was just D'Angelo and I playing our first field show of Prologue Murder Murder, along with two other random songs from Monache's first field show back from COVID. I was not prepared to have an entire instructor stare me down because of our wrong techniques. Eventually, Mrs. Madrigal got us to where we are, playing solos and duets and I could not be more proud of our achievements. This year we had 15 students in our indoor percussion, in our front hall. We took home first place and sweepstakes, which was the highlight of our year. No more dragging ripple effects. Lastly, I want to thank all our directors and instructors, parents, volunteers, and our amazing students who gave it their all. And to Mr. Magical for fixing all of our broken, ripped apart microphone cables. I wish everyone good luck finding a great front ensemble section leader next year. And also good luck loading the trailer. I will be forever grateful for my experience here with the Marauder Band and so many amazing people I got to meet. Are you crying yet? I hope so. Well, thank you all.
For 4 years, I've been at Monache. I've met many teachers, but my all-time favorite teachers have to be Mr. Adams and Mr. Magical. I spend more time in their office than I do my own house, whether it's during lunch and break or at night practice in the fall. They never gave up on us, even during freshman year. If you know, you know. Without the constant support from Mr. Adams and Mr. Magical, I would have never continued to do band. You truly have pushed us all to become the best version of ourselves, both personally and musically. We will miss the funny stories and the ChatGPT questions about random things. I'm truly thankful for all of the dedication and time you have put into this program. I would also like to thank all of the band moms, Mrs. Adams, Mrs. Madrigal, Ms. Rodriguez, Mrs. Slater, and my mom, Ms. Fleischman, for always taking care of us. And these, some of their favorite snacks.
Hello everybody, my name is Jacob Vasquez. I'm the snare captain, and I would like to recognize our battery instructors, Jonathan Torres and Alex. They dedicated their time and determination for us to achieve greatness and expected nothing less than perfect. And I really want to thank them for everything they've done. In my 4 years of my career, my favorite memory has been winning sweepstakes with my next couple of years. They lock in, actually. And they put their time and dedication into practicing and achieving greatness, just like we did. Thank you.
Anybody else? Before we go. All right. This was a tradition to finish our concert with this in 2005. And it featured, I didn't know if I was going to make that concert. My first born was born 2 days before the concert. And so yeah, I had everything lined up, but the kids we had kind of put together for surprise to moms, their baby picture and their senior picture. And it ended up sticking, and it's been done every year since. Our producer this year was Asia Lucero, who took all the stickers. So freshmen and sophomores and juniors, this is what you have to look forward to. We hope you enjoy.
Focus. Oh my God.
Thank you so much for being with us. I hope you enjoy your 4 days off and enjoy your Easter weekend. Band, let's get cleaned up and get everything put away. Have a great night.